This is JP from Blueprint for Prosperity Network. To all my pioneers, welcome back. To all my new viewers, welcome in. If you're focused on increasing your net worth through mastering the financial system that we're in, that's exactly what this channel is about. I want you to like this video and subscribe to the channel. I'm going to teach you everything you need to know from banking, maximizing your borrowing capacity, the proper use of life insurance, and teaching you how to own more real estate. So we're going to get right into it. This video is dedicated to the fact that most of you are leaving a ton of money and a ton of value on the table when it comes to your banking relationship in two major ways. The first way is going to be not paying attention to the different tier levels of banking available within an institution and how to navigate scaling up those tier levels in that institution. And how is that affecting you? The first way that that's damaging you is that you are waiting for the bank to give you a blatant promotion of a direct cash offer to put so much money in the bank or to do a certain set of qualifying transactions. You're almost completely ignoring the variety of accounts they're offering and the hidden services, benefits, and features in those accounts that you could be taking advantage of that could be either saving you hundreds of dollars a year or sometimes more, or making you hundreds of dollars a year or more. Examples would be stuff like wire transfers, non-in-network ATM fees, a variety limits and transactions on transfers like Zelle, for instance. These variety of, services or fees you could be incurring, banks usually have accounts that allow you to avoid those fees and get better access to your money with personalized service and additional benefits. The vast majority of banks are doing that. Before you tune out of this because this is either losing you or you don't think this is a big deal, I want you to stay focused. This gets deeper as the video goes on. So you're giving up all this money on these various transactions because you're likely going to these institutions and signing up for the most basic account they have. Unless a good banker is there, you're most likely not doing your homework in advance, which I teach you to do on this channel, or you're not asking questions when you go to fulfill these meetings or these walk-in appointments. In that scenario, you walk in and get a cookie cutter account that's not tailored to you and your needs, and then you turn around and have consistent wire transfer fees. Or you turn around and you have consistent non-ATM fee, non-in-network ATM fees. And the list of things goes on. Or you need to conduct certain transfers like a Zelle transfer or a Zelle payment or online bill payment on a regular basis, and their limits on those accounts are too low. Daily spending limits, ATM cash access. The list of these things goes on. You are leaving money on the table by paying these fees because you're not paying attention to the fact that you likely could be meeting the deposit requirements or the transactional requirements to be in their top tier or higher tier account that waives those fees. That's number one. That's the easiest one. Most of you, I can assure you, I will assign you a quick homework assignment. I challenge you to go back to your major institutions where you're banking, whether online or in person, and have them do what's called an account review. Making sure you're in the best bank accounts based on your needs, your balances, and your transaction types. If 100 of you go to do this, for instance, I can assure you 70 or 80 of you can come back and comment on this video and say, I had room to upgrade, or I was eligible for an upgrade, or I've been missing out on these features, or I've been paying these fees and didn't have to. Cashier's checks, money orders, the list goes on. You're giving away money. That's number one. That's the simplest one. The next capacity or the component to how you're leaving money on the table is even bigger and even deeper. These banks intentionally bake value into their deposit accounts because they're getting you to do more of your banking business with them when they offer you better access to your money and less fees to use your money. Let that sink in for a second. They're giving you better access, less fees, and more personalized service. You're much more likely to do what? Bring over more money and do more transactions because it's cost effective and convenient. That is the whole point for them. That is why they don't just use interest rates and outright cash promotions to provide value to you as a customer. What's the benefit of this for the bank? When you do more transactions and bring more balances over, they make more money because they're making money in between those transactions a lot of times, and they're making money on the balances you leave in those accounts. So as soon as you do those things, they're getting value. Where you're missing out at is, where does the value come for you? The value in that exact scenario for you comes in, that bank now has more data on you. That means that they have the ability now to do better underwriting and offer you more benefits, perks, and services, not only on the deposit side, but on the lending side. This is where it gets serious, because now they're not just going, especially if this is a smaller to medium-sized bank. This is somewhat effective with larger commercial banks. But again, let's be transparent. These are very large institutions. They have very large clientele bases and customer bases. So they are naturally more cookie cutter on average. But for the majority of those mid-sized, semi-regional, local, small banks, you know, all those different institutions that still have a lot of human interaction, human underwriting, those different things, these institutions are phenomenal for relationship banking. The more they give you access to your money, the more you're going to spend, the more balances you carry over, the more value they get as an institution, they kick it back to you. Because what that means is, when you grow financially, contrary to what most people think, when you grow financially, when you get more money, when you do more transactions, when you expand out into a business, expand out into investing, expand out into other lending products, buying home, buying boats, buying mortgages, or getting mortgages rather. When you do these things, they're scaling up as an institution. This is one of the biggest misconceptions in banking. For some strange reason, ignorant people tend to think that banks make their money off of poor people. Of course they make money off poor people, but banks don't really scale off poor people. Why? Because there's limits. They're poor. No disrespect, but I'm just laying it out to you the way it is, because you need to understand this. Banks grow with wealthier people, because wealthier people have more money and can do more transactions, and that's where banks make their money. So what happens is, you go in for a credit card, you go in for an auto loan, you go in for a mortgage, you go in for a personal loan, whatever the case may be, they start to look at the internal banking relationship on the personal and business side. This is not just on the personal side, this is on the business side as well. Once they look in, they look at your credit report, they may look at your income. Once they check these things out, they're digging into your personal relationship with them. And once they figure out this person has several accounts, they've been banking with us for years, they have frequent transactions, we see their financial behaviors, we see their financial prudence, they have cash reserves, they can look internally into their relationship and see all these data points. What do you think your likelihood is of getting approved for those different loan products? How much better do you think the rates and terms are going to be when they know more about you? This is not rocket science. It's the same concept when you're building personal relationships in your life. If you're dating, if you're making business connections, if you're dealing with friends that you're starting to make, coworkers, the more you know about them, the more definitive you can act in that relationship. It's not hard. So when a bank sees more of your financial behavior, they see more of your financial transactions, and they see it for a longer period of time, they reward you by giving you additional perks, benefits, concessions. You may not have the best credit score, but they look inside and see your banking activity, and they say, you know what? They're a little bit right at our threshold or right below our threshold, but we're still going to give them a shot. Or they don't have the best income. Their DTI is a little high, but we're going to work it out for them because they're a great customer. We've made great money with them. They're expanding their relationship with us. They keep positive balances in their accounts. They're using their different products and services. You can tell we're their main banking institution. We're going to give them a pass. We're going to work with them. Versus you being the person that opens that one account, drops a few $100s in there, and then barely uses the account. They have very little to no data points on you, and they have no incentive to prioritize you. The same thing goes when you go to that bank and need access to a large lump sum of cash, or you need some kind of extended service with that bank on the fly. Who do you think they're going to prioritize? The resources are not unlimited. Banks don't have unlimited funding. I know it's the craziest thing to people, but they don't have unlimited cash in the vaults. If you go to cash a check with them and it's a large amount, it's upper 4 or 5 figures, banks don't carry that much cash anymore. So when they start to prioritize who's going to get that money, who do you think is going to get it? When you need to cash that check ever so desperately for your business functionality or your personal functionality, when you need that deposit hold removed off of that check that you deposited for paying off an insurance or paying your attorney or whatever the circumstance, paying out other family members, and whatever the scenario or situation is, when you need priority from that bank, how do you think that comes about? You can't threaten them to take your business away if you're not doing business with them. You got one checking account with a few $100s in it. You come in with a large check. You can't cash it the way you want. They put a hold on it for a longer period of time than you can afford to deal with. And you start to get huffy and puffy and threaten that you're going to take your money out of the bank. Bye. $300 checking account that you barely use. See you later. You want cash your check or cash? They don't care. On the inverse, you have 10, 15, 20, 50, $100,000 with them. You have multiple different accounts. You have family members who are banking with them through you. You're doing tons of transactions. You have credit cards with them. And you say you're going to close your relationship or another bank's providing better. That's a different animal. Now they're going to roll a red carpet out. What can we do? What can we provide? Let us take a look first. Now they're going to start giving you concessions. And this is game changing when it comes to the lending section, when it comes to the money you can be saving, because you can start to get access to the capital you need to grow and develop. You can start to get access to products and services behind the other side of the wall in a lot of these different institutions. What they put on the surface is, for some of them, it's just the beginning. There's tiers to this, there's levels to this. And when you start to understand that and start giving these institutions more of your energy, more of your transaction history, more of your balances, and paying attention to the value in it that's baked into these different products, you'll be astonished the way the doors will open and the red carpet will roll out for you. So I wanted to bring this to you because I want to see you maximize this, because I keep telling you on this channel, and I promise you, through all of these tips, tricks, gurus, hacks, banking is the foundation to building wealth in this country. If you can master banking, you can master the ability to get the best out of your banking relationships. That is literally going to be the ebb and flow of your money going in and out, no matter what the circumstances is. Think about that for a second. When you need your money to be spent, when you need your money to come in, the more efficient that it's done, the richer you're going to get, because you're not wasting time or paying unnecessary fees. The same goes with lending. Borrowing credit is the fuel of wealth building in this country. You get your hands to access to capital, and you can get the best rates and the best terms because these banks are familiar with you. They trust you. They like the way you do business with them. That just allows you more capital to go scale out your investments and scale out your business. Hopefully all of this made sense to you. Hopefully you can see how passionate I am on this topic, because I want to see you win, and not enough of you are taking advantage of this. Take your homework assignment seriously. Go revisit your bank. Go check out the existing accounts and go see what else is available. I guarantee you 7 out of 10 or 8 out of 10 of you are going to find out you're missing out on a ton of value. Don't say I never told you nothing. This is JP checking out. To all my pioneers out there, I appreciate you tuning in. Again, if you want to support this channel as well, there's links down in the description to some of my referral links for some great credit cards. If you're in the market, you can support this channel without spending a dollar and getting the best available welcome bonuses or referral bonuses by using the links down below. Make sure it's competitive for you, but if you want to support the channel and you're enjoying the content, this is your opportunity to do so. So other than that, I appreciate y'all tuning in. To all my pioneers, I want you to stay focused, stay in motion. I'll see y'all soon. This is JP from Blueprint for Prosperity Network, a channel dedicated to helping you increase your net worth through relationship banking, maximizing your borrowing capacity, the proper use of life insurance, and the ownership of real estate. Like the video, subscribe to the channel. I'm uploading content on a daily basis to help you customize your blueprint for prosperity.